Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I really wanted to film my videos outside today, but they are working like literally right outside my door in the yard, and they're doing, I don't know what they're doing, in all honesty. I don't know. There's so many different speculations that they're doing fiber optics, and it's the gas company, it's the electric company. I don't know what it is, okay? I don't really care. They're very, very nice, the guys that are working out there. So, but I wanted to film outside today, and that is not possible. So we're sitting here in front of the computer. So let's get right into today's meditations. I brought the Melody Beatty meditations with me, and I have a pair of very old, very smudged and dirty reading glasses. Okay, let's get into that. Let's get into that. No, let's get into this. March 7th. All right, this is from the language of letting go. March 7th. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, yesterday was about peace. We should have read that one. Let's read this one first about peace. And then today's is about, it says fulfillment. So we'll read peace and fulfillment. Oh, and then 8th is surrender. Oh, wait, let's read, how am I missing all these? 5th is be who you are. Let's read this one first. Okay, March 5th, be who you are. This is a quote from Anonymous. When I meet people or get in a new relationship, I start putting all these repressive restrictions on myself. I can't have my feelings, can't have my wants and needs, can't have my history, can't do the things I want, feel the feelings I'm feeling, or say what I need to say. I turn into this repressed, perfectionistic robot instead of being who I am, me. Sometimes our instinctive reaction to being in a new situation is, don't be yourself. Who else can we be? Who else would you want to be? We don't need to be anyone else. The greatest gift we can bring to any relationship wherever we go is being who we are. We may think others won't like us. We may be afraid that if we just relax and be ourselves, the other person will go away or shame us. We may worry about what the other person will think. But when we relax and accept ourselves, people often feel much better being around us than when we are rigid and repressed. We're fun to be around. If others don't appreciate us, do we really want to be around them? Do we need to let the opinions of others control us and our behavior? Giving ourselves permission to be who we are can have a healing influence on our relationships. The tone relaxes, we relax. The other person relaxes. Then everybody feels a little less shame because they have learned the truth. Who we are is all we can be, all we're meant to be, and it's enough. It's fine. Our opinion of ourselves is truly all that matters, and we can give ourselves all the approval we want and need. Today I will relax and be who I am in my relationships. I will do this, not in a demeaning or inappropriate way, but in a way that shows I accept myself and value who I am. Help me, God. Let go of my fears about being myself. Wow. This is a really, really powerful medication. It's that. Meditation is medication. But that's a good, I like that. I'm sure somebody else has said that out there in the universe before me. But anyway, it's a really powerful meditation, and I think it's a good reminder for me. If you watch any of my channels, you know for a long time I've said be too much, right? And be too much for me translates into be everything that you possibly can be, right? Like, we are only given one life on this planet. We're only given one time around. Make the most of it, you know? And I think that it's really easy to forget that. I forget it from time to time, you know? I think like only in moments of like great loss or great tragedy are we reminded of the brevity of life. And I think that when you take a look at that, right? And it's like, you know, talking about spirituality, people always say to me things like, how do you know there's an afterlife? And how do you know there's a God? Well, in all reality, I don't, you know? I don't know that there's a God. I don't know there's an afterlife. I have faith that there is, right? Like, that's a completely different thing. Faith and belief are two different things. I shared that story about the wheelbarrow analogy, you know, which is that, you know, this guy's going over this wheelbarrow. I've heard it different ways, Niagara Falls, and I've heard Grand Canyon, and, you know, and he's pushing this wheelbarrow across this, like, tightrope, you know, in the Grand Canyon, and this guy's watching him, and he gets off, and the guy, he says to the guy, he goes, do you believe that I can go across this tightrope in this wheelbarrow? And the guy says, well, yeah, I believe that you can do it. I just saw you do it. And he says, do you have faith that I can do it? And he goes, well, I guess sure I have faith. Like, I just saw you do it. And he goes, get in the wheelbarrow. You know, and that's the difference. And for me, that was the turning point. And my spiritual belief was like, am I in the wheelbarrow? If I'm in the wheelbarrow, I'm putting everything into God's hands, right? And that's a hard thing to do. So, am I 100% certain that there is God and there is an afterlife? No, I'm not. But do I have faith? I do have faith, right? And so, I don't know why I'm asking you the question, right? I do. I have faith. You know, but it's something that I struggled with for a long time. And the reason that I bring that up is because when people say that to me, they go, well, how do you know at the end of your life that there's nothing? Well, if there's nothing, or if there's a lot more, the reality is what we know this to be is over. It's done, right? So we should make the most out of this. And whether there's an afterlife, then that would imply that what we're doing here is to learn lessons, to experience life, to live the life that to the best of our ability. Or if there's nothing, okay, and there's no meaning to any of this, then shouldn't we be enjoying it the most and living our life to the fullest anyway? So either way, whether you believe in something or you don't, doesn't really change the outcome. That the purpose of this should be living our life to the best possible we can be, you know? And I know that a lot of people then go, well, then why does it matter what you do? Because there's no judgment or retribution for it if there's no God or there's no, you know, whatever. Well, to live a kind, right life makes you feel better about yourself. You know, you enjoy life more as a kinder, compassionate person. People, to me, that are nasty, evil, and mean do not seem very happy in their lives. I don't want to be that person, you know? And so I work towards this goal of peace and happiness and kindness and love and compassion and forgiveness because for me, those are ways to enjoy my life, right? But we only have one life, and so the reality is you should probably enjoy it the most that you can. And that implies that you should probably be too much. You should be everything that you are. If you want to dance down the street, dance down the street. The other night I was taking a walk and I was listening to The Boss by Diana Ross, the 12-inch mix. It's like 9 minutes long, and I love that version so much, right? And I'm like down the street, and like, you know, like people are, I mean, it's like at night. It's like 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, so it's starting to get dark. But like people are out in their yards coming home and whatever, and I'm like doing disco moves down the street, and I don't care. I don't care. So somebody thinks I'm foolish. Somebody gets a good laugh over it. Somebody points their finger at me. I don't care. It doesn't really matter, you know? I was having fun in that moment. I was enjoying it, you know? I dance in the kitchen. I dance around the house. I dance wherever I am. I love to dance. I love to listen to music, you know? And I have to tell you that there was a long period of my life where let me put some chapstick on real quick. A long period of my life, I would say before I got sober, and then even I would say 10 to 15, 20 years after I got sober, where I was very consumed with other people thought about me, right? And even lately, you know, like online, having been consumed with what people thought about me and whatever, and I struggle with that. I'm not somebody that says I don't care what other people think about me. That's not true. What I've learned is, and where I have to completely continue to focus back to, right? Because I do get distracted from this. Every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I do kind of care what this person thinks. And I'm like, why? They don't mean anything to you anyway, right? I do care what my husband thinks about me. I do care what my dad and my stepmother think about me, my cousin Caroline, my in-laws, my closest friends. I do care what they think about me. I do, you know? Like, I hope that they care what I think about them. The other thing is that when I am my most tearful, emotional, vulnerable self, or I am my silliest, most hysterical, laughing, acting foolish self, or whether I'm just me in the middle of there, I mean, I guess both those parts are me, right? But, or whether I'm just sitting at a table, being calm and relaxed or whatever, the people that I want in my life are people that I feel comfortable expressing all parts of myself around. That I can be silly and foolish and dance, or I can cry and whatever. And the people that I have in my life, the people that I just named, are the people that I'm able to do that around. I don't have to be another version of myself because I'm uncomfortable with what they might think about me. Because it's really what it goes back to, right? But like I was saying, for a long time, really offline, but like because this was way before I was online, I did care. I would meet somebody new, and this is exactly what this person was saying was that I would meet somebody new and I would think I have to be some altered version of myself because they're not going to like me. Why? Because nobody likes the real me. Because I had been told from a very young age that there was something wrong with me. Since first grade, people made fun of me and whatever, and that's been instilled in my head ever since then. I had to rewrite that tape. I had to rewrite that tape and be like, you're lovable. You're cool. You're fun to be around. People love to be around you. People invite you to things. You know, even when you don't go and you decline time and time and time again, people still invite you to things. People love you. People care about you. So if people love you and they care about you and they want you around and they invite you to things, that must mean there's something right about you. And I had to reprogram myself, because me wanting to be a different version of myself around somebody else, or me wanting to not be myself because I'm afraid of what people might think about me, because they might be like, oh, he is too much. Because sometimes when you are too much, you know, it is, other people can't handle it. It's like, it's offsetting to them. They don't know what to do with it, right? It scares them. I'm attracted to energies of people that are too much. I love that, you know? My neighbor next door, when she's working out in the yard, or she's 30 years old, or she's walking her dog down the street, she sings at the top of her lungs. She don't sing quietly. She doesn't have her AirPods in usually. She's just singing songs that she likes to sing. I live for it. I love it, you know? I came out here a couple years ago, and it was like a Friday afternoon, and she had taken the day off, and she had this like blanket laid out in our backyard. And I mean, this was probably like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, 27, 28 at the time. She had this blanket, this really cool like blanket laid out in the backyard, and she had these candles lit, and she had a plate made of like cheese and grapes, and she was like drinking like, I don't know, some fun drink or something like that, and she was reading this book, and she had this like soft jazz music played out there. And I was standing on my patio like taking the dogs out, and I was like, I said to her, I was like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I just wanted to have like a picnic to myself today. Nobody wanted to have a picnic, so I thought I'll have a picnic myself. She had made herself a whole picnic in the backyard. I live for that. I love that, you know? I love that so much. And I remember years and years and years ago, our neighbors, before we have the neighbors that we have now, they had grandkids. And one day this little girl was out there, and she was like in this, what do you call it? This like princess dress, and she had a wand and all this. You could not tell this girl she was not a princess. You know, you could not tell her that she wasn't lighting things on fire with this wand, and she wasn't making magic happen. What happened to us? When did we grow up and we became so concerned with the opinions of others, so concerned with the opinions of strangers, so concerned with the opinions of people we might meet one time, that we started to give a shit about that stuff? It's not worth it in the long run. I don't think that anybody on their deathbed looks back and thinks, gosh, I wish I had thought a little bit more about what people thought about me in the world. I really do not think that anybody thinks that, you know? So be too much. Be yourself. Be your silly, fantastic self. And I'll tell you what, like me, I had to get rid of a lot of people in my life. A lot of people that were not, they were not, what's the word I'm looking for, compatible to how I wanted to live my life. They were toxic, they were negative, and they weren't people that were trying to live right lives. And on top of that, they just weren't themselves. They were always some different version of themselves, and you never really knew what you got. And I thought, I want genuine, authentic people around me. I don't have a big group of people today. I have a very small group of people around me, but the people that I have in my life are authentic and genuine. And I'm forever grateful for that, because I can be myself and they're themselves. And I will tell you, when you start acting like yourself and who you are inside, and you wear the clothes that you want to wear, and you listen to the music you want to listen to, and you eat the foods you want to listen to, because that's all pieces of our soul. You watch the shows, you read the books that make you happy. You don't alter yourself for somebody else. Once you start doing that, you will see a dividing line go in your life, okay? And the people that no longer fit there, you will see, and you'll be like, I don't know what to do, because I love this person, but they don't fit there anymore. They're not okay with me being this version of myself, and this version is the true version of myself. And you will attract those people that love you for who you are at your soul. And that, to me, is more powerful than anything. I'd rather be with one person going through life that accepts me for who I am and loves everything about me and allows me to be my most authentic self, than surrounded by 20 people that don't really know the real me and want me to put on some fake facade because it makes them more comfortable. I'm not willing to do it. Life is too short. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.